Hey, it's Valerie Ling here, clinical psychologist and affectionately known as Dr. Burnout. I'm coming to you live to talk to you about a concept which I call the Skateboard Way. The Skateboard Way is essentially something that I discovered along the way when I was trying to figure out this thing called work-life balance. These days, when I hear about work-life balance, I'm curious about what people mean when they talk about work-life balance. So this is a Mum on the Move episode. For those of you who are aware, I have a series of podcasts when it's something to do with being a parent on the move, juggling life, business, family, kids. It's a Mum on the Move episode. And Mum on the Move is very, very relevant for when you're thinking about the skateboard way. So the principle behind the skateboard way is essentially that life is not going to fit into a neat little bundle where you can just put the building blocks. I used to think this way. I used to actually believe that if I had all my ducks lined up and if I was very planned and very organized, I would be able to fit everything that I needed to do, completed, polished, and done. That only lasted for about 5 seconds because the minute my kids could move, and my kids moved really early. My oldest was on the move from about 4.5 months, and my second one was on the move from about 8 months, and they both talked from the get-go. In fact, their first words were commands. And for a long time, I used to feel like I just wasn't doing a good job. Like I just wasn't cutting the mustard, until one day I realized that whoever said that this was the way I had to do it? Nobody's telling me that I have to do this. I'm the only person that's telling myself how to do this. So at this point in time, you are watching or listening to this episode at a really strange time. This is when I'm recording it. It's, let me have a look. What's the time now? 10:22. And if I were to be rigid Dr. Burnout, I would be saying to myself, it's 10:22, why are you on a screen? Why are you actually working? Why are you doing this? This is wrong, 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 wrong. And that's the whole problem with work-life balance, because if I think that way, then I'm going to get into this cycle now where I'm actually going to feel like, ugh, I'm failing, I'm drowning, what's the point? I'm just going to give up. Instead, the skateboard way acknowledges that there are going to be times when we have to shift modules around in our day and in our week. So particularly when you've got a collision of priorities and responsibilities. If you own a business, call it like shifting sand in a business. Things are constantly moving. One person makes a decision and it impacts 5 other people. And whatever plans you had in place for your quarter, for your financial resourcing, for your budgeting, for your human resourcing goes out of whack. Then you add family. If there's illness in the picture, if there are party invitations, if there are clothes that are not fitting, shoes that have split, undies that have not been washed, it's constantly movable. What we need to attend to is a couple of things. Principle number 1. Know your points of connection. Where are they? Those things can be fixed into rhythms and routines. So if it's one meal that you all sit down to, then you sit down to that one meal. If your kids are at the stage of doing dinner, bath, books, and bed, then you know that that's the part that you're going to keep unmovable. You can change the time though, or the timing of it, I should say. Everything else, in terms of knowing your connections, everything else release. In seasons of real flux and chaos and change, release the need to then fix a whole bunch of other things, right? So know your connection points. The second is make sure you know what needs to happen in your week so that the rest of your stuff gets going. What does that look like? For us, laundry, groceries, and believe it or not, vacuuming because of our allergies, all right? If nothing else gets done, clothes being washed, food in the fridge, in the pantry, and the vacuuming is what we can agree on to say these things will help us all just to feel like the planet is still revolving well on its axis. Everything else, go with the flow. And finally, know that whatever it is after and outside that, you can totally use your resourcing to figure out where they're going to fit. And the reason why you're hearing me talk tonight at 10:20 p.m., well, that's when I'm recording it. This is not when you're actually going to be hearing it, is because I've had a conversation, I've done my connections, the 3 psychological points of laundry, grocery, and the vacuuming was delegated and done. And I then needed to make a decision as to what I needed to do to finish this day. I have a concept of calling sealing the day. For me, unfortunately, I can't always seal the day exactly at the time that I want it to be. When the family's routines are stable, I can seal my day fairly predictably at 3 o'clock. But when everything else is in flux, it's very difficult for me to seal the day. Now, sealing the day for me is something that I need to skateboard. So skateboard means that we balance according to what's right in front of us, right? So if you're on a skateboard and you're going up the gravel pathway, you'll need to balance a little bit more. If you're going downhill, that's a different gear that you will be on. And so sealing the day for me is a really important thing that I have in my day because it allows me to have a mental checklist to say that whatever that needed to be done today has been done, and whatever that has not been done will be done tomorrow. For me, I didn't get that sealing of the day and decided by communicating to the family that I was going to do it right now to seal my day. So I just wanted to come on live and to have a conversation about, don't beat yourself up too much if the whole work-life balance seems to be too hard to gain, because, well, basically it is. Okay, I will catch you later.